Nice, we finally get to play white, and we're going to try to break past 11:30. We're going to play the opening as usual. We play the Reti opening and transposition into the King's Indian attack. So just develop all these pieces over here, castle as soon as possible, then we play d3, develop, potentially, and we prepare to play e4. So I can just go bishop g2. Interesting move, supporting e4. Usually I just play like e5 immediately. I need to stop saying like. Been thinking about that. And like other annoying noises. Self-conscious, yes. This is not just chess, if you're wondering. It's also like philosophy. I said like again. Dang it. I don't know if this actually does anything. I probably should stop playing this move at some point in the future. But at low rated levels, it's okay, probably. Because you just trade off the bad bishop. It's hard to develop this bishop after you put a knight on this d2 square. But you're supposed to actually hold on to this bishop to use it to attack your opponent. Now we get doubled pawns. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, knight bd2. It's two different knights. I can go. Excuse me. Two knights, so we use the b part and the notation. They probably play c3 queen c2 to further put pressure on this e4 square, and we could even play rook e1 or knight to h4, attacking the bishop, forcing a trade, unless they want to give up control of the e4 square by retreating, and then they'll also remove the defender rather than add an attacker, and then that'll allow us to play e4. But we can just play this first, because now we already have two attackers. They have two defenders, which means we can play the move, and they can't take. It just has to stay there. If they wanted to take it, they'd have to have one more attacker than defender, if they take first. Okay, I'm not worried about that because it's only one piece. If they had a knight, then that might be a problem. But if they sacrifice the piece, I'll be happy. I'll just try to hold on to the material and trade everything down. So attack this bishop. Forcing moves are best usually. Forcing moves first, checks capture threats. And also, there's three goals in the opening. Develop your pieces, control the center, and safeguard your king. So we're controlling the center with this e4 move. Doesn't really develop our pieces, but it can only do one at a time, I guess. And that's okay if you only do one at a time. Next, we're going to safeguard our king. Okay. Now this is okay, because if they take, they're just losing minor piece for a pawn, and they can't force us to lose the privilege of castling, because the rook sees the queen. If they traded queens, we would take back the rook. So you gotta be careful of that. That's why it's good to trade off this bishop sometimes, as well. Well, this guy is actually rated 30 points higher than me, but I'm feeling good so far because he allowed me to double the pawns. So he's not like a lot better than me. So I should have good chances. I just gotta be careful. Right. Now again, before I castle, I got plenty of time to do that, I feel. I just want to be prophylactic. Because what if I want to move the queen, and they move the knight, and the knight attacks this pawn? So how about I just play c3, and prevent the knight from going to either of these two squares? Very thematic, very common move in this opening system that we're playing, immediately castle. I might as well do that as well. Looking for any other moves. Oh, we gotta be careful of this queen. I'm gonna have to put a rook under here, but I'll just castle now. It's fine. I can't. I gotta be careful where I move the queen. If I go here. Okay, the knight's not blundered because this knight defends, of course. How would I defend the pawn with the queen? Because I'm doing two things at once. I'm also preparing this rook move to go under the knight. Alternatively, I could play this rook to e1, but I want to try to attack the queen with this rook as soon as possible, so I'm going to play this move, queen c2. Rule 1, take your time. Rule 2 is consider your opponent's threats. Maybe I should do that more. Maybe they've got this move, but that would just help me, so mistake's a mistake. So consider your opponent's threats and plans. not much here really. And then rule 3, blunder check by visualizing, which I kind of did sort of already. Like earlier I was saying, this, you gotta be careful about this knight. Like, it's only defended by this knight if you move the queen away. So here we're still in the opening because we still have to develop our pieces. We have safeguarded our king by castling short. We have taken control of the center by playing e4, and we should probably try to emphasize that advantage more because our opponent doesn't have any pawns in the center. They just have double pawns in the wing. So we control the center, safeguard the king, so we have to develop our pieces by moving our rooks into the middle of the board. Let's also think about what our opponent did. The knights can't go forward either of these two squares either, so this is... yeah, they're not going to have a lot of options. I mean, that might be a good idea, maybe, because then they would undouble their pawns, put a pawn in the center, but obviously I just won't take. You gotta be careful. I mean, just like pay attention, stuff like that. Now, this is actually a great threat, I think, because I could actually move this knight and attack the undefended bishop. It's like what John Nunn says, loose pieces drop off. You always got to target the weaknesses, target the undefended or loosely defended pieces. So I could just play this now. It's like a one-move threat, like an amateur move. Then the bishop will just retreat, probably here, to keep this long-term tension. Or maybe go here, but that would just block their queen in, so... Yeah, they could just go here. But if first I play this rook to A to D1, then this will be a double attack. I'll be attacking the knight. And I'll be attacking queen after the knight moves and the rook is under here, right? So pretty simple, I think. But maybe I shouldn't have spent so much time on that move. Yeah, because then like your opponent knows you cooking up something, you're planning something. You spend a lot of time, I feel, and also I just don't want to get low on time. But I mean, rule 1, take your time to properly value and calculate. But it's like I already knew I was going to play that. I just spent maybe a little bit too much time trying to explain my move. Probably got some people clicked out of the video because I spent like, that's a pretty obvious move, I think, but whatever. I'm trying to talk a lot so that it's engaging and you're never bored and you're always learning. So what is my opponent going to do? Bishop g4 still, it does not help at all. Yeah, so what my opponent has to do is I made a forcing move, so my opponent is forced to react to my threats. There's no other things that can work, probably. So they could just move the bishop and won't be a target, but then they'll have to move the queen. That'll be a little awkward. They could even move the queen up and over, maybe. Maybe they want to hold on. Okay, that works, I guess. I still get the tempo on the queen. I guess maybe that was a good idea, bring the queen out, like I was saying. But they went one move further. Because you don't want to retreat the queen, it's passive, and you have to redevelop it, sort of. Maybe this one. Is there a better move than here? Excuse me. Just 8. So what if I go here instead? Double attack on the queen. Again, I don't want to play this, really. I want to try to keep those double pawns there so I can take them later in the game. There are going to be weaknesses in the end game. How do I do this? I think this is a critical moment. It's worth spending time on. Backwards does not make sense. Don't do that. So just eliminating candidate moves. So probably just these two. You know what? I think... Okay, wait. This is just... would be blundering if I don't move it a second time. Because the bishop could take it. But they can't take it immediately because there's rook. Unless they wanted to go 2 pieces. Like a major piece and a minor piece for a queen. Oh! And they would also attack this rook. Hold up. No, but they'd have to take this first. I saved the rook, right? But I'm thinking, what if I do this? I was thinking, do I do this, the knight move, and then the pawn move, or just do the pawn move now? Or even go here, and then that would trap the bishop then. So yeah, maybe I can actually honestly go here first, because the threat is better than the execution. Because now that the queen is blocking in the bishop, we need to try to take advantage of that weakness. Bishop can't go forward, so their only option is go backwards if I attack them. So this, the only thing they could do is play like a6 or a5, because that escape square. So this is another forcing move. I think this is totally fine. This is also a forcing move. This is also a forcing move, but the threat is better than the execution. Very important chess term. So it is a forcing move. It's not check or capture, but it's a threat. So I think this does make sense. Yeah, these are still covered. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they'll see what my plan is, but they could just move the queen now, because then after I attack the bishop, then the bishop goes back. Then I don't know what to do with my knights. I gotta be careful of the square and the bishop. If the queen goes here and defends the square, the bishop goes there. I can get my rook. See, 3 minutes is a long time, but hopefully that was educational and enjoyed that. What are they thinking about? I'm assuming they see my threat. They're trying to decide what they should do. I think a simple queen move is probably the best. Maybe even here. No, maybe not. I don't know, but because I mean, for one, so this isn't a double attack, and for two, to develop the rook on this file, and the original move, and now I'm calling it the third idea, is that you want an escape square for the bishop. Right now, the bishop's only escape square is here. So hopefully this isn't a boring game and I just win immediately. This minor piece. Even if I do win the minor piece, I'm still gonna have to win the game. So it might still take a while to convert the material to a checkmate, most likely. Still at that beginner level. Okay, they found the move, but they let me grab some space and attack the bishop, and maybe I'll just push that next. Or maybe I'll go here, after I go here, and there'll be a follow-up? Not maybe like... So we have this. Assume we play that. Candidate moves, maybe just playing this to make a nice solid pawn chain there. Do we play this? Or actually, maybe we play this and like bait them to play that. Weakening move. I was thinking about playing f4 and trying to develop this bishop. Thematic. How about I do that? Maybe I move the knight here, attack this queen, then I bring this other knight over to defend. That's not a good idea. Honestly, that's a lot of moves. Let's just go here, get some time. This can't be a bad move. Yeah, okay, but they didn't give us a lot of time. They just instantly played the retreating move, yeah. Bishop takes, rook takes. Bishop takes. So we lose 8 points material for 9, but the queen is actually worth a little bit more than 9 if you use like modern engine evaluation for pieces. But the rook is also worth a lot more than 5. So I feel like the queen's supposed to be, I don't know, the two pieces work really well together. But no, they're not going to do that most likely anyway. They're probably just move queen somewhere. See, I could play this, but What's the point? Then I just made the bishop bad for nothing. No, actually, the bishop isn't bad because it's in the corner. The bishop has control of this long diagonal, so I actually would want them to take, I suppose. And also that would bring my pawn to the center. This should be actually a great move. I'm glad I realized that just now. Because the idea is obviously f4, but also a positional move. Blocks the bishop from controlling, or seeing any squares in the center or my half the board, or my castled king. Oh, no, that would be under pawn, actually. Not actually, though. Because I still have this attack, don't I? I go here. Now, but then if I go here, there'd be two pieces hanging. Not with the rook takes, bishop takes, but the queen could be defending it too, potentially. It's complicated. Maybe I have to move this bishop. This knight first. And again, the bishop's on a long diagonal. So if they take my knight, we're happy with that. And it's obviously the square would be better than this square because here's defended by the queen, here it's not. But do I still have time to... Yeah, and this square would also defend the square, so I'd add the second defender. So I've successfully created a plan. And so in the middle game, the three rules... There's 3 phases of the game. Each phase has 3 rules. I talked about the ones for the opening. In the middle game, my 3 rules or principles are to improve your pieces, execute the right plan, and seize the initiative. So improve the pieces is easy. You just consider the position, evaluate the position, calculate. But finding the right plan is like the most important part of chess. It's like you're still pretty much improving your pieces. Oh, I mean, you're still this is great. Oh, what was I thinking? You're still calculating, evaluating. Obviously, is what I was trying to get at. But it's like more long term. You're not just improving your piece activity. You're trying to attack weakness and add more pressure to it. But yeah, this move was amazing, I feel. Like, I don't know why they moved the queen over. Might be a little inaccuracy. Because I get a tempo on the queen with the knight. And I also get to enact my plan of playing f4 and activating the bishop. And now they took the bishop, so now their active bishop is gone. My knight is developed towards the center. Can't be any better. This pawn is defended once by the queen. This pawn is defended by the bishop and it's about to move forward. And then we're going to weaken the... Oh yeah, this is good, right? What is my opponent threatening? I don't see why they did that move. But, you always want to assume that your opponent is playing the best move and not playing the worst move. That's just how you're supposed to do it, You don't want to play hope chess or anything. This knight is just kind of on an outpost here. Like, I don't actually have to take this bishop. Bishop doesn't have any squares, really, anyway. So I like f4 because if I can play e5, I'm just gonna actually I need to stop saying as well. I'm sorry. If I can play e5 after f4, then I would be threatening to take this pawn with the bishop. And if they defend that somehow, then I'll take this pawn, attack their knight. So they have to take back with the pawn, or they move their knight and I take the pawn. Weaken king. So this is obviously what I need to stop saying obviously as well. This is clearly what I was talking about doing, and as I've described it, it's clearly a reasonable, if not good, move. But why did my opponent move the queen though? You got to ask yourself question number 2, or you got to follow rule number 2. What are the opponent's threats and plans? Maybe they just want to trade queens. But that's not going to happen necessarily. I don't know. That would actually not have been threatened to trade queens. It would attack this pawn, actually. Well, so then it would threaten to trade queens, I guess. So does that mean I should take the knight? I mean the bishop? Then even more doubled pawns. Yeah, I might actually have to get rid of my knight that's in the middle of the board. I don't want them to be able to infiltrate. I just calculated that since they have the bishop there and the queen, they could go here. And I don't want to trade queens because I'm trying to attack them. And also they get a tempo. Oh, they wouldn't even just get a tempo on my rook. They could potentially win this pawn in a fork. But my knight is here defending the square as well for now. So actually, yeah, I don't need to take the bishop yet because this queen defends this square. No, but they also have this infiltration square here. And again, I don't want to trade queens because I'm trying to attack them. Oh my god, my time's running out. Interesting move. They like almost pre-moved that. I guess they knew I was going to do that. Odd. This is defended twice. Not just the bishop, but the queen. So they can't blockade with the queen. Okay, now I'm thinking about playing this move, sort of. Because then they can never push. Unless I want to trade rooks. I mean, it's not that bad. I think I should do this. This is my whole plan. Pawn takes. Knight, bishop takes. Either the queen moves again, then I waste tempo, or pawn takes. I'm losing so much time. I think... Yeah, obviously I don't want to play this, because then my bishop is bad again. I don't even necessarily want to trade this bishop for the knight, though, do I? But I think if they take with pawn, I can move my rook over. I don't even have to take with the pawn. So that's good. But they have a knight, though. But they won't take because the pawn will take, so... A little risky. Do I do this? No, I don't really need to. I mean, first I'd have to take the knight. I guess I'm kind of supposed to keep my bishop here because it's better than the knight. Like, especially because the knight can go forward. So, yeah, if they take with knight, rook attacks. They take with queen, rook attacks, and because we trade queens maybe. Great position, yeah. Do not want to give up this bishop. That's why you have to realize stuff like that, I think, to go beyond the beginner level. Like, you can't just trade pieces. I mean, sure, double pawns, but the bishop is just better. It's more active here, long term. Like, what if I do this and just immediately win this pawn? Knight moves, bishop takes pawn. And after the knight moves, I can take this. And I mean, before I even take the pawn, maybe I move the rook over. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting low on time again. Okay, so now I'm opening up the position for my opponent. But they don't have any threats yet. They have to like double up the rooks first. I've got rooks too, so I'm not scared of that. Knight still can't go forward, but now I guess I actually allowed the knight to go here potentially. And that would also defend the pawn. So I did not calculate this as well as I should have. But now that the knight moves, I can in fact just move my rook over. I'll be winning this pawn back. No, but actually they could go here and defend the pawn. Oof. I don't mind giving up a pawn. Hopefully we'll get something back. Did I not realize I can move the knight here and defend this pawn? Because I didn't realize that like immediately after seeing the position. Not to brag or anything. I mean, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not good. Assume that. Maybe they're trying to figure out how they're going to counterattack and survive my little tiny initiative I got going here. Probably only play one game this episode. Seems to be a pretty exciting game. Not boring. Get some water. Mouth's getting dry. Well, now they're losing at knight. It's interesting. Like you're not supposed to attack people when you're under attack. They saw one move attack. Oh, the rook attacks the queen and sees the bishop. If they give up the rook for the bishop, I'm happy with that. I'm winning then, up the exchange. Then the knight will move, then I'll defend the pawn. Excuse me. Like I could go here and could just completely defend the bishop, and rook takes, queen takes. Then after the knight moves, queen takes pawn. So actually this might be better. Originally I was thinking maybe here, but it doesn't really do anything. Like it doesn't even attack the rook because the queen sees the rook. Queen defends it. I can't like deflect the queen. Well, you go there. It's rook, so here. I think I'll be playing this. I think they should be losing. Well, if they don't lose the knight, they're not forced to lose the knight because they can put me in check. But they should be losing a pawn now. And really, that was just. I already lost the pawn though, so it's not like I'm actually gaining a lot. But I mean, I'm attacking their position. It's not just about the material, it's about the positioning of the material that you take. Like the pawn structured. They're not going to have any pawns left on the queen side. I mean, my pawns are a little bit isolated and weak. They can be connected. But then, you know, the one will be behind. Really spent a lot of time, low on time now. I gotta stop talking for 2.5 minutes on a move. Just the thing is, there's a wide variety of chess players' abilities. Now they play that. That's annoying. Oh, I'm winning. Huh. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, no, because the rook defends the knight. I was gonna say, if they push the pawn and defend the knight, I've got bishop here. Oh, it's like hope chess. If I move my queen, then I can threaten this bishop fork. But I can't. But right now, their rook can take the bishop. Maybe I play this really passive move to prevent the rook from taking the bishop. But then they can even take the pawn. But that'll be fine because I'll be threatening something better. We don't care about the material. We don't care about the pawns especially. We just care about who's got the winning position. If I go here, can they attack me again? Nope. This should be a safe move. Maybe they could threaten a trade. That might be annoying. But then maybe I'll win the... No, it doesn't do anything. This is a very stupid move. This is just hope chess move. But I mean, my pieces are doing pretty good. Yeah, this is what we're doing now. We're down 2 pawns, but we're going to be threatening to fork king and the queen, and also we're going to be threatening to actually just skewer the queen and win the rook. Or I guess they could defend if they go here. So we're threatening to trade rooks, which we're threatening to just get tempo on the queen with the rook. Oh, you know what? I could just take the pawn with the queen. Oh, I'm losing on time. Yeah. It's undefended pawn. I was like, why can't I just move my queen here instead of here? Oh, wait, why can't I could just move my queen here instead of here or here. Attacks the undefended pawn. Maintains this threat and maintains this threat. 17 seconds. At least I don't have like 7 seconds or 10 seconds. It is 15 plus 10, so I just have to move faster than 10 seconds. I can't move immediately though, because I don't want to blunder. So I gotta follow rule 1, even if you're in time scramble. If you have enough time in the scramble. Okay, I guess they see my threat. So I don't think I should trade. Or do I have checkmate? I don't have checkmate, I don't think. I'm gonna check, I'm gonna check, I'm gonna check. Great, now I'm just losing. What the hell? I don't have any time. It feels like I'm losing, like my opponent has developed all these pieces on towards my half of the board. My pieces are cramped. I mean, I can take their pawns. I've got this threat. I don't know why I didn't play this instead of moving the queen. And also, that's a double attack. It attacks the rook and the pawn, and also it lets this rook attack the pawn. But I can still play this on the next move, probably. Rook defends, but it might be risky if I go here. Yeah, definitely my play now. The weakness I spot is these pawns. But the problem is I'm going to have to keep some pieces close to my king to defend my king. My king's kind of weak. So if I go here, then they're attacking this bishop. I'm just going to have to give up another pawn. They're not attacking my king so far, yeah, fortunately. Oh, they just pushed the pawn forward. How do I go here? I don't know. I'm just going to take this. No, they should totally take this because that would also defend the pawn, the rook. Yeah. What if I go here then here? Because I can't go here. So I'll still give it a check somehow. And the rooks can go to the back rank because my rook is there, and the rook can't defend the square because my bishop would take it. So I should be able to play this in the next move. Just to check. But that's actually nice. That's actually threatening checkmate. Because they can't push the pawn because the rook is pinning the pawn to the king. So they're forced to go back. Then I have to play bishop here to g6 because that covers these two squares. And then I'll be threatening this checkmate, except they have a rook here on this file. They can defend. I see this checkmate idea. So this is good. This is good. We're not completely hopeless just because we feel like we lost our advantage. Yeah, you gotta see that. You gotta use your pieces and improve the piece activity, and you gotta attack the king. That's why I saw that if I can't go here to put a check in the diagonal, I'll go here. Okay, that's good because now they can go forward. Nice. They've seen all my threats. Playing well. How about, oh my god, if I push pawn here, that's risky though. But that would prevent them from going forward, and I could play this as another checkmate pattern. But I guess I could wait maybe. This is super dangerous. Rook. No, I mean my bishop defends, my rook defends, and they're on the third rank, not the second rank. So I'm not going to be getting mated. So now I have this checkmate. Because bishop covers this, pawn covers this. So that's what we got to do. Look for the checkmate patterns, tactical patterns. And you just sacrifice material because you try to attack the king. Now we're going to be down 3 pawns if they take. You know, they could actually just fork. Oh my god, this pawn. No. This pawn is hanging, actually. After pawn takes. So it's not going to be checkmate. The rook takes this. And they go here and check me. They could just win the pawn here, too. That's actually annoying. Wait, what the hell? Where did they move? That's not the right move, bud. I guess he thinks... Oh, but I'm winning with the rook. If he goes here, I'm not going to let him fork my pieces. That was stupid. I think I might have been dumb that he did that. I don't know. Maybe he could just attack my bishop over and over. So I do want to keep my bishop on this diagonal if I can. I guess I could go here. Oh, shit! Damn it! Oh, I blundered it. How freaking stupid. I should have played here. Why did I play here? I mean, we've got this advanced pawn. It's not a pass pawn, but it looks like it could be not good. And I could have also went here with the rook. Stay in this file. Oh, he's got a fork. How freaking fantastic. I just stupid. Why am I stuck at 11:30, man? I don't know if I have time to analyze this game. But somewhere around here. Maybe this is too fast. Maybe I should have done this first. And then played this. If they would have blocked though. Because this knight also defenses, so they just lost the pawn. That's fine, I guess. Oh, so that's bad. A little bit. Yeah. Good move here. Bad move. That was a critical moment. I don't need to be afraid of the rook taking my bishop. It's stupid. Down a pawn. Do I go here? Draw? Okay. Or what if my move here is terrible? So, what is their move? Is it really just doing that? No. I don't see black's move here. Just forcing it to trade. Maybe. It's good for really good for them. No, I still draw. Sort of. Everything's fine. It's a draw. So it's like I knew I lost my advantage. And I even felt that I was losing in this position. Because I lost my advantage, I was so mad about it. But it makes sense that it's draw. Yeah, that's a -1. I knew that move was too quick. I only had 19 seconds on my clock. I told myself, take your time, even if you're in time trouble. Like, at least spend 10 seconds. We got 15 plus 10, 10 second increment. At least take 10 seconds. So what should I have played instead? It's good calculation, practice. Go there. I mean, that's awakens a pawn if they defend it like that. Oh man, chess. Rook d7. Oh my god, I was talking about attacking the pawns. Why did I not do it? I don't need to move with the king. I felt like I was in danger because these two rooks are here, but my king's not in danger. And there's also bishop g4. Right, makes sense. So going there, just go here, get out of the way. Bishop d5. Yeah, that's a double. Oh my god, this is what I saw after I made the other move. I saw this is triple attacking. It's a triple attack. The bishop forks the rook and the pawn, first and foremost, and also opens up the rook to attack the pawn. So I should have played that instead of moving my king. So it's just... Then the takeaway from this video is, I guess, like in-game conversion, in-game technical abilities, principles in the in-game, and like after the pieces are traded, you're in a critical position. Like after the trade of queens, material has been traded, so therefore we're in an in-game in a way, and that makes it a critical position because you've got the tempo after the queens have already been traded, and like what do you do? That's fine to check. No. Yeah, so just went here. See what else did I do. See, yeah, giving them the pawn, not even bad. But here's where the mistake was as well, yeah. I didn't see what to do here. Just randomly attacked. Rook f4. But what if this? I guess I escape. So then instead, what if they actually would have went down and then here? Bishop e4 is check. Oh, okay. So that's why they can't really threaten a mate. Oh, we don't have to recheck with the rook. We use the bishop as well. King f8 is bad, I guess. But oh my god, it could have been a mate in 4. Like, it's very hard for people to know there's a difference between these two moves in general. G8 is mate in 4. Going towards the corner, discovered attack. I guess that makes sense, yeah. But there might be even a better move there than just taking the rook because it says mate. But king e8. So once again, I could have attacked the king even after my first mistake of just moving my king to the corner randomly. The powerful bishop attacking the pawn. Open up the rook. That was always a good idea. So yeah, you just need to know what the good ideas are. You need to know have the right plans, and you need to attack the weaknesses. That's what it is. Stupid. And also time trouble, really. Like, if I would have been in time trouble, I could have played better. So that's the big takeaway for me, and hopefully you got some takeaways from that. Consider subscribing for more educational videos. Continue watching this series. Thanks for watching.